Hey now. Welcome to the Hookah Lounge. We apologize sincerely for the delay. We were having some major technical issues on my part. My Wi-Fi decided that it wasn't going to work. So we finally figured out the problem. Thank the Lord that I have two separate Wi-Fis running through my house. So Judah decided he wasn't going to play today, but Spectrum decided the show must go on. So we are here, and I see you, Lena. I see you, LG, and hey, Lionel. So we're excited to finally get the show on the road, and it's a good one. See, this show is about negativity, and no matter what goes wrong in your life, you got to learn how to work through negativity. So we were not going to stop. We were going to work through it. We were going to figure out how to bring this show to you today. And I'm a lone ranger tonight. It's just me. So she wouldn't have been able to stick. I got to move the right way. My girl, we all been kind of sick lately. And she needs to rest up because she has to go to work as soon as the show is over. Sometimes we run late and she has to disappear. So I've been sick for a while. I wasn't here last week. As we ended the show last week, I abruptly, I ended the show kind of quickly because I started feeling a little icky. And I've been sick ever since, trying to fight some kind of, I thought I had food poisoning, but I think I got some type of food bug because my grandson got sick. I know Tweed got sick. So something is going around. So you guys be careful out there who you, a lot of people don't wash their hands. They prepare your food, send it to you. My mom and Gino got sick now. I'm telling you, it's going around, this little bug. So be careful you come in contact with. You don't have to shake everybody's hand or give everybody a hug. You can be very nice and pleasant. Hey, how you doing? Because these germs, especially if you got kids in daycare, my grandkids used to keep me sick. So we got to be careful. But I was really excited about this show. Because a lot of times, and we're going to get into some videos and talk about what negativity, because I worked real hard to try to stay real positive, and I've always kind of been kind of ditzy, and I've been through a lot in my life to try to keep a positive personality, try to stay away from negativity and not be negative, but you can still fall into these negative traps and not realize. Somebody called me negative not too long ago, and I kind of stared at him. My son did also, like, her? I don't know about her. Because even when things are going wrong, I make stupid jokes. A lot of times we're like, that's not funny right now. But you can, even when you don't know it, you can find yourself slip into negativity and you don't realize it, or someone can bring negative to these negative spirits. And if you're not religious or faithful, I'm not really religious. I walk by faith. There's a difference, religious, but between walking by faith and being religious, there's a big difference. So I walk by faith. So a lot of times, even if you're in a spiritual realm or you're not, I always say karma. If you're not in a person of faith, yes, it's hard, Dee Dee. I really have to seek the Lord to help me. Yes, you do. Because sometimes we don't even realize we've allowed a negative spirit into our realm, and then we pass it to somebody else. Like, you just think you're in a bad mood, or you just think, and for example, like if somebody cuts you off, or bumps into you, or because I told somebody, you're going to step on my foot one more time. That is really negative. And you don't realize it, or somebody tells you something. Like I was telling my little brother, the Sabbath was last night to tonight. So he called me and he was telling me something, and he was reliving something. I was like, hey, dude, every time you talk about this woman, it puts me in a bad mood. It's a lawyer that kind of did us dirty. So I was like, it's the Sabbath, dude. And every time you talk about this woman, it like brings it something inside of me. So we're going to stop talking about her right now. You're going to let me enjoy my Sabbath. So he was like, oh, yeah, I understand. Yeah. And that, I'm telling you, my sons, I look at them with the road rage. Like, you definitely didn't get that from me. Other things will tick me off. And that we have to realize, like, you think you're rational about certain, like my grandkids, like my kids when they were younger. Like you mess with my kids, that's a problem. Now it's my grandkids, and I'm not like I was, and I was, I had my kids. I was my first son. I got pregnant at 17, so I grew up with my kids. What's up, Cuzzo? So I'll fight you over my kids back then. I was a little girl. With my grandkids, I'm a little different. I'll stop you real quick. Hey, you're gonna have to stop right now. I got that, I got that granny voice. I got that don't play with me voice. So I deal with things differently now that I'm older. And it's easy for me to be in more control now. When I see the negativity come, I'll start laughing. And a lot of times when I was younger, people were like, this girl crazy. She'll go from laughing to like getting real physical. Now I just go from laughing at you to being, hey, stop. So we got to learn how to navigate that negativity and how, because the way you got to remember, sometimes when something negative comes your way, it's how you deal with it that can turn it super negative or really switch it. Because a lot of times somebody's going through something and whatever they're going through in life, and then they pass it to you, and then you pass it to someone else. Because I've done that on accident. And then I have to go back and say, damn, you know what? I received that negative spirit and I passed that negative spirit to you. And then what if they go past that negative spirit to somebody else? When you walk by faith, these are spirits. You understand that those spirits can be passed on to other people. And if you're not a spiritual person, then you have to understand negativity begets negativity. So if you're negative, then you could pass your negativity on to somebody else. So we just got to really recognize it, see it, and learn how to deal with it. And it takes a long time to pick up on. And sometimes you could be moody and broody because what I've been going through lately, because I'm usually in high spirits. I'm usually a happy-go-lucky person. I could see the rainbow in anything. Because somebody told me, you're going to find good in just about everybody, right? Because they were telling me about something that was going on. I was like, I don't think they meant it that way. I don't think it's like that. And she was like, oh, you can see good in just about anything, huh? Right? I was like, well, I'm going to work on that. I'm going to stop seeing good in everybody. So you can find something good in somebody. So, I'm a mama. Yeah. And when you become a mom, it changes you. Something about what you used to tolerate, you won't tolerate anymore. What used to be funny isn't funny anymore. And then, my son makes the joke that with Queen Latifah, he put it up. It was funny because he put it up on social media about 4 or 5 years ago. And it's a picture of Queen Latifah and Set It Off. Whenever she had that talk show, and it's a picture of Queen Latifah and Set It Off. And he was like, this is my mom raising us. And then it's a picture of Queen Latifah on her talk show. And she's like, this is my mom raising her grandkids. I was like, it was so funny. Probably kind of true. But it changes your perspective in life when you have kids. There's a lot of things you won't do and a lot of things you won't tolerate. But it's how you deal with it, and it's how you work on it. Because I said, I'm quick to laugh at you first, and then it changes, And I'm not as high strung as I used to be, because in the beginning, my 0 to 100 like a Porsche. Now it's like 0 to 100 like a Pinto. I don't go so fast. And now, and I always tell people, like, and I said on another show, you better make sure that's the Holy Spirit talking to you. But that's who settles me down now, because a lot of times you think that's you, and the Holy Spirit was like, they said, well, the Holy Spirit told me. No, that was you who told you. That's what settles me now, because I've had people talk real reckless to me with this walk and with my age and my knowledge, because I used to be who the F are you talking to? See, that's that negative spirit. That's that. I'm not. I'm good for. Do you know who I am? Like I come from like some great family or something. Do you not know who I am? I don't do that anymore. you know, because some people that have been real reckless with me, you know, there's that good spirit and that evil spirit, you know, the Holy Spirit will make me stop, because my first inclination is, who the F are you talking to? That's that negative energy. And the Holy Spirit says, yeah, you don't need to say anything. Just sit down. Because then it blows up and then it gets bigger and it goes a place that it doesn't need to go. And then there becomes consequences behind that. So I will, everything that's in my mind, I don't have to say. And I don't have to prove, like, do you know who I am? I don't think you do. Because then you have to come back and you're the one who has to apologize. And even if it wasn't your fault to begin with, it can become your fault at the end, because how you allowed the negativity to take over what you were going through or what they brought to you. So that's how you have to learn how to stop the negativity before it gets past the person that brought it to you. You know, because if you take it to another extreme, then you're the one who made it out of control. Kind of understand where I'm going. And we got some videos that we're going to show and talk about. My son and the Lord have changed me a lot compared to my teenage years and early 20s. Ooh, Lena. No. Well, I had my sons really young, so I changed in my late 30s. And I'm going to tell you what made me change. Hey, Q Smooth. I used to have a short fuse like my mama. Ooh, my mama's Cuban. I mean, my mom is Cuban. You know, people say, like, I'm half Cuban. So you see on all my stuff, it says half Cuban. But when you get a little Cuban, and I mean literally little Cuban, like she was like 5 feet and spunky and spicy, and don't play with her. And that's how she I used to watch my mom. One of her husbands was like 6'4". I used to be like, that's how you talk to people? Are you for real? Yeah, so that short fuse, I learned that from her, you know, because sometimes people look at you didn't say nothing to your mama? That's your mama? And you allowed, you know, like my first marriage, you were like, with your mama, you allowed that to go down? I was like, yeah, you don't see some of the stuff that happens at home. So how are you doing today? I'm doing pretty good, Q Smooth. Thank you. Thank you. Look, I could do this. I told somebody I could wave at you and then flip you off too. Like I'm getting there. So, but thank you for asking. You know what changed my short fuse? My son, he has a short fuse. And I said, because, you know, they used to always say, oh, that's just Hairston. You know how Hairston is, you know, or that's just P. Diddy. Don't call me that now. They used to call me P. Diddy. Because my name is actually Pamela Denise. So they used to call me P. Diddy. And they would just say, well, you know, that's just how she is. You know, so it was acceptable to be me. And they'd be like, oh, you know, that's just how she is. It's not that big of a deal. So what changed me is when I'm telling my son, when are you going to stop flying off the head? You know, you don't play football anymore, you know, that football thing. You're not on steroids anymore. So I said, how long do you think you can keep doing this? At what point is it not acceptable for you to be such a hothead? And you know what he told me? When you stop. So when you stop, I'll stop. Eye opener. And that was a course of changing my life. So if your own kid tells me, well, you're a hothead, Abuelita's a hothead, what's wrong with me being a hothead? And, you know, my thing is, well, one, you're a man. So you're supposed to be more even keeled, and, you know, you're supposed to be the leader of everything. But that's when I started to change. When I said, you cannot be this person. You cannot flip out. You cannot tell people what's on your mind. You can't do, who the F are you talking to? Because I told one man when he kind of came at me, because the kind of job I had, I truly behaved like a man. I will have you on the floor in the corner, sucking your thumb in fetal position. You do not know who you're playing with. That's how deadly the tongue was. I got it from my mama. Bethel said he overcomes negativity by walking away. He avoids the negative by ignoring it. Whenever he hears rude people rude people or obnoxious, he keeps his distance and not getting in trouble. And that is the smartest thing to do. Now, I've gotten really good with this. still got a little ways to go. Because when you start getting loud and obnoxious with me, yeah, I'm going to back up. I'm going to stop talking to you. When you over talk me, when you get loud, when you're obnoxious, when you and you know, sometimes, especially men, because they're louder than us and they over talk you and they're louder than you, and I do it to the husband in a heartbeat. Okay, you got that, you win. But what I have to work on is the smart comments that I make, and I've just grown up this way. My mother, I used to ask my mom would come home from work. She used to work graveyard, and she come home. So she worked 10 to 6, and she come in at 6 in the morning. I'm still doing trigonometry. You know, she'd be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Homework." And she's like, "I knew I smelled something burning." Really, Mom? Or you know, I'm like, "Hey, Mom, what are you doing?" And she's like, "Building a house." And you know, I say, "Well, Mom, where are you? Mom, where are you going?" "To see a man about the dog." Really, Mom? So I have these little stupid comebacks. So I have to, like, if you are, "Hey, what's up, maniac?" So if you are like being a little not nice to me, I may walk away and say like a little sarcastic, which I might think is funny and you don't. Because Eric says I'm only funny to myself. But I won't engage with you. I'm not going to take it there. And Beto is right. You said Beto, right? Yeah, Beto is absolutely right. Walk away. Leave it alone. Don't escalate it, because you cannot. Negativity fuels negativity. So if you walk away from that negativity, a negative times a negative is a negative. So stay away from it. No, it's not. A negative times a negative is a positive. I lied. But it's better to just, because you know what? I'm not gonna look like I'm 75. I'm not gonna give myself a heart attack, and you're not gonna ruin my day, because I don't want you to control. I'm a very controlling person. This is why I couldn't do drugs, because I don't want to be that person that steals my own VCR and television. So I like to be in control of myself. So then my daddy taught me that if somebody takes you out of your character, if somebody stops you from being who you are, they won. Because now you stoop to their level. You started behaving like them. So then they won. So if they're yelling and screaming, and then you start yelling and screaming, who won? Because are you acting like yourself? So Bethel, that's the best advice you can give anybody. So I'm living great. Man, I gotta wake up every day. Somebody didn't wake up this morning. So, and you know, I say that all the time. I always say, and G-Lew says it, hey, especially on the Sunday show, be blessed you woke up this morning. Somebody didn't make the roll call, because Queen always says about the roll call. I lost somebody so important to me. I was trying to tell G-Lew, but I had to stop talking because I was about to start crying. And you know, Dee Dee's not supposed to have tear ducts. So you gotta be blessed and thank the Lord every day for waking up, because somebody didn't do it this morning. G-Lew, you could drop one of those videos at any time, because you know I keep talking about. I got so many stories about what's up, drunken chef, about negativity and how to work on not being negative and staying away. And Lena Bethel said the best. You
6
walk away.
behaviors of manipulative people who pretend to be nice. These set of people are wonderful, and I call them wonderful because they have so many colors that they show at the same time. They play a good person with you very well, whereas it is all a charade. They only do things that will favor them. You might not know them because of their love bombing, but with these 6 traits, you can easily identify them. Number 1, they play the victim. This is one of the most prevalent cases with them. They are always carrying out evil plans, and whenever it goes sour, they push the blame onto others. They never take responsibility for their actions. If you try to confront them for wrongdoings, they act a victim and give so many reasons to support the reason for the attitude. Number 2, love bombing. This is a super technique used by manipulators who pretend to be nice. Love bombing is a situation where a person showers you with so much love and affection within a short period. They will declare undying love for you within days of meeting you. They even go as far as showering you with gifts to get you into their nest. Once you show interest in another thing that is not them, they become violent, and everything ends. 3. They use your weakness against you. Some people are constantly out to know your weaknesses. They come in different forms. Some come in the way of trying to help you out with some issues, and others come in the form of wanting to be your best friend. And when they get to know you, and you eventually open yourself to them, they begin to capitalize on your weaknesses. And if you complain about their behavior towards you, they defend themselves by telling you they are trying to help you out. Or they make you feel guilty. One very effective tactic of a manipulator is to make you feel guilty for not helping or believing them. They always love shifting blames on people, and if they find that you are good to them, they try to make you do things for them. They can pretend to be sick so that you will help them wash and cook. They are ready to do anything so that you can do things for them, and if you refuse to do those things, they get angry and start acting all betrayed so that you will feel guilty and do that thing for them. 5. They pretend to have the same likes as you. This is one of the ways manipulators get into your head. They pretend to have the same interests as you do. Before they do this, they make sure to do their research on you thoroughly to know the kind of things you love and those you do not. Then they will let pretend that they share the same interests as you do, and an instant connection is formed. This is possible because people love talking about the things they love. Number 6, they gossip about people to you. Most manipulators are great gossips. They always bring the stories of their people to you, and in the same vein, they take your accounts to other people. They do not mind sharing your secrets with people, and while they are doing this, they also tell you what others are saying behind your back, thus making themselves look like saints before you.
This is a good one. I put my glasses on because I actually took notes on this one. On a few of these, because this one is about negative people who pretend to be like really great people in your life. And I've had a few of these people come into my life, and then later I have a cousin. I don't even know her twins. I haven't talked to her in about 10, 11 years, and she fits these to a T. And this is my cousin. And sometimes you have to just remove people out of your life when they fit these categories. The first husband was like this also, and you got to start paying attention to these signs that come up when you let these people into your life, because they'll drain you of everything you are. You'll end up in a dark place, or like when they come around, you're exhausted. Like, oh my gosh. So, and I wanted to like elaborate on some of these things, because a lot of them, they do play the victim. And then you feel sorry for them because you end up like, oh wow, because a lot of times things only happen to them. Like they always have a plan, and when it goes south, they don't take responsibility for the things that they do. That was like, this cousin borrowed my car that got totaled out, and never paid one dime of insurance on it. But I gave her the insurance money to get another car so she has something to drive. But it was my fault at the end of the day on how all that transpired when the story was told to somebody else. And you're like, wait, what? You just get baffled and confused. And then if you're with one of these people who are draining, you'll see in some of the other videos that we bring up, if they're doing something in your life with these people, you say, look, I kind of don't like when I tell you, like I found a new, I've been married for 5,000 years. But if you say, hey, I'm up for a promotion, but I might have to move, but it's more money. Do you really want to move? Don't you have a nice house? And then you try to confront them on that, like, dude, why can't you just be happy for me? They'll shift blame. Like I was just thinking about you and the wear and tear. I mean, like you just got the house, you just finished decorating the house that you're in. I was just looking out for you. And like I'm thinking about you. So then they flip it on you. Like I was thinking about you. How are you gonna get mad at me when I'm thinking about you? So then you get uncomfortable, like, well, maybe I shouldn't have said anything. They were thinking about me. So then you get afraid to tell them something, like, oh, and then when you first meet them, there's this like he said, the love bombing. Like you just meet them and all of a sudden they shower this was the first husband. They shower you with so much love and affection. Like I barely know you. And I have a few friends that I met like this. This one I knew for 15 years that I ended that friendship because in the beginning it was like they shower you with, oh, man, you're the greatest person I ever met. Man, you're so wise. Man, you could teach me so much. Or man, this, man, that. And it's just a lot in the beginning. Like it's a lot. And then you kind of feel a little weird, but you're like, well, I shouldn't feel that way, and then I am kind of a good person, but when you don't return that attention as fast as they do, he said they get violent, but it's not always violent. They kind of turn into guilt, like, well, I was just appreciative of you. I was just kind of trying to show you that I admired you or I looked up to you or, we had so much in common. I thought you felt it. So they kind of, sometimes it can turn violent. Usually when it's a man-woman relationship, but when it's a guy-guy relationship, well, dude, I was, looking up to you because the way you played football, the way you hooped or whoop whop, or when it's a female relationship, it could be female. Um, I thought we had a lot in common, so it's not always that it turns to violence. They'll turn it to guilt. And then you feel bad, like, well, they were just trying to be my friend. Maybe I just don't like compliments, or I'm not used to another person showing me that much attention. So that's the way they flip that on you. That because sometimes I feel ill at ease when someone gives me a lot of attention way too fast. And sometimes it goes over my head because sometimes I'm so busy doing other things. I am a little dingy. At first, husband said, "You had no street smart, not like boop bop street smarts." I'm on the show. Um, and it said they use your weaknesses against you. They make it a point to get to know you, and talk to you a lot because they really want to get to know you and talk to you, and then you get vulnerable. So like when they do flip something on you and you've told them what your weakness is, they'll use it on you. Or if you tell them something that bothers you that they do, they'll flip to like you say, I don't like when you do this and that. And they say, well, at least like let's say I don't like when you do something it, when my kids are around. I don't like when you smoke in front of my kids. Well, at least you have kids. I don't even have any kids. Why would you say that when you know I don't have kids? And now you feel bad, like, oh man, I shouldn't have said that. She's been trying to have kids for 10 years. They flip it on you. And now you feel guilty. That's why I say people, they tell you they're a good person, you think they're a good person, and then like you're trying to back out the friendship or you're trying to tell them parts of the friendship that you don't like, and it gets flipped on you. And then that's why I say I've had a few people I've had to release from my life because they're exhausting. You're draining me because I'm always apologizing. I'm always apologizing to them, and then I'm trying to figure out like what I do wrong, you know. So that's why I love this video, and I had to cut a lot of it out so that we could play it. So they always make you feel guilty in the relationship, you know, and then they make you feel sorry for them to get things from you. Like I don't feel well. I got one arm. A lot of people have offered to come help. I've taken help from nobody. If you look at me, I weighed myself till I was 118 pounds. I need to eat something. I look like an 11-year-old boy now. I usually say 12, but I don't. The reason I don't ask anyone to help me is because I never want anyone to feel like they owe me something. Like Dee just don't feel, and my arm's been broken since the last event. I done had surgery. I got a little patch on. But then, like she's I just feel like I don't want you to feel like you owe me something, like, oh, Dee did this for me, so I owe her this back. No. So I haven't asked for anything. And trust me, several people have asked to do things for me, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the prayers. I appreciate everything. And this is the reason I don't ask. Because I never want anyone to feel like, oh, I want someone to feel sorry for me. I kept a lot of my injuries to myself. Dee just kind of disappeared from everywhere. And I'm slowly coming back. But that's the reason why, because people do this. Oh, I feel so bad today. And then you buy a bunch of food for them, or you go clean up their house, and then you find out there was nothing wrong with them, or they always need something. They can't afford this, or their mom is that, or their grandpa. Have you ever met someone that had like 5 grandpas that died? So, and then like if you say, well, I don't have it this time. Well, you're like the only person that can help me. I don't know anybody else. And now you feel guilty, or they've been evicted 4 times. And I say that for my brothers or my cousins or my niece. I got a niece that always needs something. So my nieces are like, is she talking about me? And that's so funny, because one of my nieces, she texted me, she called me, she was like, Auntie, I need $1,000. I said, what's going on? What do you need, honey? What happened? And she's like, no, I'm just playing. Since every time one of your nieces call, because I got a few nieces, because we always need something. So I just wanted to call and tell you hi. But that's how she started it. So, but it's like they put you in that position to where they always need you. And you're the only one that can do it, so um so that that's is it 6. Oh, and then they pretend to have all the same likes as you. They get to know you. They make sure that what's up, window. They make sure that they like everything you like. You have all the same interests. Everything is the same, and not everybody. I mean, I don't even have the same likes as the husband. Like, when we met each other, it's because we like lowriders. I don't like a pigeon rat. I do not like one pigeon. I call them sky rats at all. So we don't have the same interests. And he loves oldies. Because of oldies rule forever, I am starting to like oldies. Because he coming here jamming out. When G-Lew would tell you, when I first started this, I was like, G-Lew, I don't know these songs. Like, I'm trying to mark the song. I was like, you got to tell me who this request is for. Now I'm starting to figure them out, because I'm starting to enjoy the show. So no one's gonna have all the same likes as you. Me and my best friend been friends longer than Eric has been born. And we do not have this. I sit and watch her eat a runny, bloody steak, and I want to puke. We don't even eat the same foods. And that's been my best friend for 25 years. So, but then you meet somebody, you know them 3 months, and they love everything that you love. What's the show last week? Red Flags, Run, Forest. So, and this is the one that you really got to be careful with. And I'm learning this the hard way. I do stop people. If you come gossip to me, sometimes I may listen, sometimes. But the minute you tell me what somebody else said about me, that's right there. And I don't say gossip, because I really don't gossip. My mom did. If you were gossiping at her house on the phone, she would hang it up, because that wasn't allowed in her house. But if you vent to me, I want to rephrase that. If you vent to me about something, like you're feeling something, or you got your feelings hurt, or you want to talk about something, so I'm gonna say it like that. If you talk to me about something that's been bothering you, or you want to talk about it, and it has to do with another person, then I will sit and listen to you. Okay. But the minute you come and tell me, well, Whoop-de-Wop said about you, because somebody told me how many people don't like me, and I was like, okay, end of this discussion, because I really don't care. because nobody ever liked me. And I had a whole lot of friends. You see what I mean? I've never been a wallflower. Well, I am kind of a wallflower, but I've never been unpopular. I've always had a lot of friends, but it doesn't mean everybody liked me. And my mother taught me that. You can have 50 friends and maybe 2 will like you, but everybody wants to be your friend. So be careful, because if they're coming to tell you what someone said about you, they're going to tell them something about you. So that right there, again, red flag, red flag. So don't come tell me anything somebody said about me, because my first question is going to say, well, what did you say in my defense? See, because that's the one from 15, with my friend for 15 years, when she tells me, ooh, I almost said that lady's name. Hey, Keisha. Somebody at work. And I knew this lady at work didn't like me. Okay. She used to work with the first husband. Me and the first husband got a divorce. I know you don't like me. But when this friend that I had for 15 years came and said, ooh, I didn't know Miss Whoopty Whoop didn't like you like that. Ooh, she can't stand you. How you know? And how long did you sit and listen to how much she doesn't like me? See, because when people come and talk about you at work, I get up and walk away. I don't sit there. Or I say, oh no, Miss H, she's cool. You just don't know her. See, I defend you. And I never came and told you who said anything about, I get up and I remove myself, or I defend you. So that means I was a friend to you, and you were not a friend to me. So that's why we got to be careful. So if someone comes and says to you, about somebody said about you, or stop them. Don't say, well, what did they say, girl? Or what homeboy, homie, what the OG say about me? Hey, close the door. So, because sometimes that's actually probably not what they said, or they said some parts of it, and then that telephone, you remember that game Telephone? And then as it goes down the line, it gets changed by the time it gets to the end of the line. So even though it might have been said in one way, by the time it gets to because that happened to me, because one day I made a joke about somebody, because me and my sons, I used to smoke Black and Milds like people smoke Newports. Okay, so I could, like chain smoke a Black and Mild. So when C to the VID came out, it was this running joke, because when you smoke like that, you get a smoker's cough. So it started because we were in Fatburger and I started coughing. And one son said C to the VID, and I was like, no, Black and Milds. So after that, every time we heard someone cough, we started saying C to the VID. Well, I hurt somebody's feelings because I made that stupid joke. So by the time it wasn't a joke, it turned out to be serious. And I was like, that was a joke. So you see how it could be said one way and then misconstrued into, so that ain't funny? People are dying to C to the VID. See what I mean? So how it starts one way may not be how it finally gets to you because of telephone. So don't even listen. If someone comes and tells you what somebody said about you, say, I don't want to hear it. I'm good. Because I love myself and I am awesome, Blossom. Do they still make those? Those things used to be so good. So, oh, sweetie. Okay. I want to say I had a skiing accident and broke my arm so bad I had to have surgery. And I could do this now because I couldn't even move my fingers at first. But no, I fell over my dog in front of a bunch of people, so I can't even lie about how I broke it. Yeah, my dog got a little amped up and too excited. I can't even say, but you know what? I can't even use it as a stupid drunk story, because someone said you better be glad you weren't drunk if you got to the hospital. They'd have wrote that down. But no, I tripped over my dog. He got a little too excited, but he just did it the other day. I almost fell over him again. I yelled at him, cursed at him like he was a grown man. Like this is how I broke my arm the last time. Yeah. But thank you for asking. Yeah, physical therapy. He said it's gonna be a long road, but to stick to it. So that's why I got exercises to do. My son be yelling at me to get them done because woo, this is a pain that I don't wish on anybody, even somebody that I used to didn't like. Because I love everybody now. says, if you have hate in your heart, you can't make it to the kingdom. And I'm trying not to have that problem. Like you get there. I don't even just like my first husband. I am not gonna get to the reading of my book of life, and he said, because you didn't like such and such, you ain't going. I'll be like, what? For something so ridiculous, you know what I mean? So I gotta get really. I need one because if you could see the scars, that and on my knee, my grandma, I busted my head in a I had a car accident, went through the windshield, and my grandma, I have no scars on my face from that aloe vera. It really works. So accidents happen, Dee Dee, but I say shit shit happens. That's how my mama used to say it. That's right. That's right. Okay, G-Lew, we can go to the next video. I think I wore that video to its last leg.
When I tell y'all peace is to not be reckoned with, especially when you know that you are at peace and you know that God got your back, your life will run so much smoother. Hi, my name is Raquel Ashley. I'm a stay-at-home mama for. Y'all remember in Vampire Diaries when they would tell them to turn their feelings off? Well, baby, that's exactly what I did, and I do not care. I turned my feelings off. Now, I didn't say I turned my humanity off. I turned my feelings off. There's a difference. I no longer care about things that do not affect me at all. If it's not my kids, the people in my household, baby, I cannot care about these things. I can give it all to God. And especially if it's something that I cannot control, I am not worrying about it. And it's to the point to where I don't even want to argue with nobody. And y'all know I get busy. And I know I'm being a better person because this lady, I'm going to tag her in the comments because I'm no longer hiding y'all usernames. I do not care. But anyway, she made a comment about how she's a working mom and she got 3 kids and her house never looked like mine, and this is just trifling and don't blame it on my kids, blase, blase. Now, the old Raquel was like, eat her ass up, but the new Raquel was like, no, we better than that. Now, I did hit my best friend up in Memphis and she was ready. She was on go. Now, she still found out everything about this girl, where she lived, her phone numbers, everything about her grandma name, her uncle's name, everything I needed to know she found out. But I don't know what it is. Something inside me just will not allow me to give y'all this information, and I wanted to, but I just couldn't do it. Now, I did go to her page and I just realized that she is just miserable. She's one of those people that talk black power this, but then you come on a black woman's page and start talking shit. It's not giving what it's supposed to give, Gina. Life is just too short to be angry. Come on, get it together. Put a smile on your face. You are happy. You are living at home with your 3 kids in your nice, clean house. And I hope your small business have the day it deserves.
Keisha, I wish I could say the same thing, but I have broken this arm 3 times. Well, I broke my shoulder, I broke my elbow and my wrist, I broke my thumb, I broke my ankle. I definitely, my sciatica, that didn't break, but I hurt my sciatica. So yeah, I have a tendency to break some things, and I don't know why I'm smiling. I'm pretty much a happy-go-lucky person. So I like this video. This was the first video I did because she was hilarious. I was watching her clean up. I used to be a cleaning fool with 5 kids. But I like this one because she said you got to find your peace. First of all, you have got to find your peace because there's no way in the world that you can block out negative people if you don't have a sense of peace about you. So, and that's the easiest way to just ignore the negativity that comes your way. I also loved it because she said, like the Vampire Diaries, and if anyone has watched this show, they know how much I love Vampire Diaries. The spinoff that came, the originals, the originals were so much better. But how she said, you have to turn your feelings off, not your humanities, because if you know that show, they turn off their humanity, but you turn off your feelings. And see, this is the problem with everybody, is you work off emotions and your feelings. And that's what gets you in trouble. Get out your feelings. And I tell people this all the time. This is where I did a lot of podcasts off of the book that I wrote. And everybody gets so emotionally tied to their feelings. You have a right to your feelings, because without feelings, you become a nobody. But when you work off your feelings and emotions, it doesn't always make you right. You have to, and then when you work off your feelings and emotions, you don't think about somebody else's. Their feelings don't make them right. My feelings don't make me right. So I have this thing, if I hurt your feelings, I didn't mean to, I will definitely apologize. I wasn't trying to hurt your feelings, but they're your feelings and I can't account for your feelings. So if I did something to hurt your feelings, I will definitely apologize, because that was never my intention. Now, if I hurt your feelings on purpose, I am never, never, ever, ever going to apologize because I meant to do that. And it's a very rare occasion I do that. I have, though, on purpose, hurt your feelings. Sometimes people do things where they need a little reality check. But if I didn't do it on purpose, I'm going to apologize. So that's why when she says, I got out my feelings, because the lady says something about her house being dirty and she got 5 kids. And the lady came for her who said she was a positive person. I told you, you got to watch people who say they're positive and then tell you about yourself. See, I'm not going to tell you about yourself. I had this one thing. I used to be, because I used to have 5 kids. If you ever walked into my house, it looked like a model show home, like no one lived there. And it used to be like a running joke to come to my house and move something and see how long it took me to figure out it was moved and put it back. That's how obsessed I was with being clean. That has gone out the door with Messy Marvin that I live with. I'm constantly having panic attacks. But not everybody can do that. I'm screwed and not feeling good. If I break again, they told me definitely surgery. Break what? I thought you said you didn't break anything in 50 years. I'm confused. But you gotta if you have to take your feelings out of it so people, when they have that negative vibe, they cannot hurt you. Bruce Lee says when you break bones, they grow back stronger. Life, however, teaches you that if you don't use it, you lose it. You got that right. That's what he told me. If I don't start getting this arm together, it's not gonna go over my head. So I really got to start working on it. But that's what I like. And then you got, when people do hurt you, you can't dwell on it. You got to give it to God and let it go. If you don't believe in the Most High, then give it to the universe and let it go. I don't know what you believe in, but you got to let it go, because if you hold on to it and you fester on it, that's what makes you angry. And a lot of people let God let go. Isn't that a famous saying? If you fester on stuff like that, it boils, and you blow up. And you end up blowing up on the wrong person. You don't blow up on who you supposed to blow up on. I'm not the blow up type. I'm pretty much will if I get upset, I pretty much will tell you right then and there. I've learned to, in my older age, to not it used to be immediate, like, hey, now that I've gotten older, I learned how to weigh what's important. Just because something irritates me doesn't mean I have to tell you, because it irritates me. It might not be that significant. Pick and choose your battles. Some things you can live with that's irritating, and some things you can say, hey, you crossed some boundaries. So that's why I don't always speak my mind like I used to. Everything that irritated me was dealt with immediately. Now, not so much, because one, I don't have to deal with you every day, or two, it's just not worth it to me. So I've been told I let too many things go. So, and then you don't need to argue with people. It's just, we talked about that earlier. It's just not a necessity, especially if you're perturbed to a point. I always recommend you stop, wait, pray, think about it, then go talk to somebody, so that you have a rational mind. So, and I love, she said that she found it when that lady said something to her page, she found their grandma's grandma. Hilarious. So, oh, you broke both your ankles twice. Okay, Keisha, but not until you were 50. Oh, okay, I got you. How old are you, or is that old-fashioned thinking? Keisha's over 50. Dee's however old she looks. Dee went to high school with Moses. So I'm good at letting go, but I don't forget. And when people show a certain color I know I don't mix with, I always keep them at a distance, never let them close again. You know what? And you're not supposed to forget, because you don't want them to do it to you again. We're supposed to forgive. It's 70 times 7 in the Bible, but you're supposed to forgive even if they don't ask you. And that's one I had to learn. even if they don't ask you for forgiveness, because what it does is it heals you. But you don't forget, because it can happen again. That's like if someone socks you in the eye every day and you forgive them every day for 5 years. When do you get a concussion and a hematoma? You know, so and then you don't keep them close. Um, you got to be very careful who you let close to you, because a serpent will bite you. Are you going to keep letting a serpent bite you until it kills you? So no, you do keep certain people away from you, and there's nothing wrong with that, because you don't, like I said, they will suffocate you and drown you, and then they'll think that you're weak. Like, oh, I just keep doing this to her. So no, I agree with you. I to keep certain people at a distance. It's fine, and it's okay to be. How you doing? Okay, because there are repercussions to your actions, and if you continue to have negative actions, and you don't atone for those negative actions, then you find yourself alone in this world. See, like I said, I've had to learn. I went through a period of my time where I was very spiteful, very angry, mad. That's why I said, you got to heal yourself before you ever get into other relationships or other friendships or anything in your life. You got to heal yourself. Because I always say there was a point in time, even the Most High, I used to tell other people to pray for me, because the Most High cannot hear my prayers. Every time I walk up to a church, the door slams shut, pat, pat. If I try to pray, I can't do my hands together. He is batting them down like, girl, please. Ain't no way. So, because I knew my mindset. I knew what I was going through. I knew how spiteful and hateful I was at the time. So there is no way in the world he was listening to anything that I was saying. And he never gave up on me, because he knew that I would come back. So, but you will end up alone if you don't figure out what you're doing wrong. So, and I had to atone for the life that I was living for a little while. But I knew I would heal myself and come back to where I needed to be. And you don't keep people around that haven't figured that out yet, because they'll just keep on hurting you if you let them. So, my best friend was like probably the only person that would talk to me at that point in my life. She was like, girl, it's bees like you I hate. So, but I got my life together, and I am where I am today. So those people need to be pushed to the side. And I mean, you keep praying for them though, so they can figure it out, So I forgive and I believe you have to let go. Window. Wow, fish, but whale, wait, but you're easy asking a partner what to do. Pay? I missed something, Window. I'm just saying I'm busy. I'm behind. I'm being shy. I know people don't like me being real. No, Window, you gotta be real. Nobody wants you to be fake. You gotta be who you. That's why it says Didi Hairston 100. You gotta be who you are. Good, bad, or indifferent. So don't ever think that you can't be who you are, especially when you're over here with us. So, oh, you talking to Keisha? What you and Keisha talking about? What are we doing a hookup? No, I'm just playing. What's up, Tweed? I tend to let everything go. That's not life-threatening, but don't take threats lightly. I feel you on that one. Don't threaten me. Hey, Kahana. Here today. Okay. Julie, go ahead and drop another one of them videos.
The one thing that you'll never catch me doing is saying something negative about myself or my situation.
Why is that?
Every single time you have a thought or statement, especially when it's negative towards yourself, it activates these areas in your brains that make connections. And oftentimes these are associations with that specific thought or statement. So, for instance, let's take that you say to yourself, I'm not good enough. Well, you say it the first time, but if this statement is repeated over time, what ends up happening is that these pathways that connected the first time you said it strengthen and they become more robust. Now, the thing is that not only when repeated over time, it becomes solidified as a belief system, but because that negative thought, I'm not good enough, is associated with emotions like fear, frustration, sadness, what it activates is learning. It activates your memory system. And the dangerous thing is that once they become learned statements, they become part of the belief system that you hold for yourself. Hence, you're not good enough. And so what the brain does, it has this natural tendency then in your everyday life to literally find evidence for this belief. So you could be doing anything and your brain will find a way to connect what you're doing with the fact that you're not good enough. And this is what you call confirmation bias. It's trying to find ways to solidify that learned behavior even more. And once that happens, well, it becomes an implicit belief. And the implicit belief, subconsciously think you're not.
I like this one because this is the one thing I think we all do, not realizing that we're doing it. Because I was in the kitchen trying to grab something. I forgot. I keep forgetting about my arm because I can move half of it. And I picked up something. I was yelling at Eric, grab it, grab it, grab it, because I didn't want to drop it and break it. And he's like, Mom, why do you keep using that arm? I said, because I'm stupid. See? Why? I'm not stupid, highly intelligent. But why are we so quick to say things like that about ourselves? Okay. My kids were not allowed to say what they can't do growing up. I can't do it. I can't. Just do it. I can't. No. Yes, you can. So that was a word that was never allowed to be used in our house. And I just sat there and called myself stupid. Don't say negative things about yourself, because you know what happens is those things start to sink into your subconscious. I can't. I'm not smart. I'm a failure. I always pick the wrong dude. Why can't I find a job? I'm not worthy. Why am I not thin enough? Why am I not pretty enough? And a lot of times when you're a kid, how many of us heard, you just like your daddy? If my mama told me that one more time. Well, I had a good daddy, so I didn't mind. But we got to remember, if we tell these things to ourselves enough, we destroy. These are negative connotations that we feed our spirits, and we do not seem to get out of our own way. And we don't realize how much damage that does to us. So we're feeding ourselves negativity. And I told you I did it just yesterday. Might have been, no, it wasn't today. I didn't pick up nothing today. But think about how many times you said something. If someone like me said, because I'm stupid. Or you kick your toe and you're like, dumbass. You're talking to yourself. So you need to be feeding your spirit positive things. On some show I used to watch, and she had sticky notes everywhere saying positive things all the time. So you need to constantly feed your brain something positive, and not the negative things that we feed ourselves all the time. And that it's hard to tell yourself that, like, oh, just because I said that doesn't mean I really feel that way about yourself. But if you keep saying those things to yourself, especially if you grew up in my era where you constantly, I know someone whose mom to this day will still call him a dumb boy, and he's a grown man pushing on 65. So if that's the era that we grew up in, and I had to stop calling my son a little Riri when I found out he was dyslexic, because I used to call him a little Riri all the time. So we've done it as parents. We do it to ourselves. It was done to us. And how do we know? Or you say, dang, I hate my hair like this. I wish I wouldn't have. Ooh, this hairstyle makes me look fat, or ooh, it doesn't fit my face, because I was about to cut this hair out my hair, literally. And I have crop under this hair. But I had to tell myself, ooh, no, that Tony Braxton don't look good on you. You might not want to do that. So I'm reading the comments, but Keisha and Wendell are talking to each other. So we're at our hour. So G-Lew, drop that last video. Oh, don't sweat the small things. That's been said for forever. I was told pick your battles wisely, and it's better to say there he go than there he lay.
Don't let someone take your power. Don't let them ruin your day. Them? Who are they? Who are they? They may be going through something that has nothing to do with you, and you just collide some kind of way, and the next thing you know, we're kicking up attitude or stink or a funk. Sometimes it does feel good to explode. Sometimes it does seem right that you let the anger out. It's a emotional response. It's a release. All of that stuff is great, except it can have very, very negative consequences. Taking responsibility for your own actions, for your own choices, is the number one thing you can do to make sure that you are living correctly in this world. Now then your choice becomes, am I going to keep dealing with this negative attitude, this negative behavior?
What's up, JoJo? It's good to see you. So, that's what I was talking about earlier. Don't let someone take your power. When I was said, like my dad had told me, when you change who you are for somebody else, you've lost all your power. You know, the way somebody treats you or comes to you or whatever they're going through, and you're in your positive atmosphere, you're being who you are. And if you're normally an easygoing person, and then someone comes towards you and then you flip the script to appease whatever they're doing or how they're feeling you, and then like, who the F are you talking to? Or you flip out or you road rage out, unless you normally road rage out. Now you've given them all the power. So what if you guys now get into a fist fight, and that was the last? Your day was filled with, I'm about to go to the park, I'm going to the movies, right? It's fun day Sunday, and now you on your way to jail. So who lost the power? So you got to be careful falling into whatever somebody else's mood is, and now they've changed your mood, or whatever you're going through, and someone just changed the dynamics of your day. So now you've lost your power. Now you're no longer in control. They just changed it, and they're the person that's in control. So you got to be very careful with allowing someone to control whatever you're going through, or your mood, or what's going on, and even a situation. Because like today, I could have said, cancel the show, G-Lew, I'm done. You can't hear me. And trust me, we went through 4 devices to get this show started. If I'm lying, let me sink into a sinkhole. 4 devices to get this show started today. 4 of them. And nothing. The 4th one finally got going, and we figured out what the problem was. And then we started the show. I didn't come on this show mad. I didn't come on this show different than who Didi is. I didn't start yelling and cursing at G-Lew like, what the fuck is going on? Why we get none of it? Because the situation wasn't going to change who I am. I'm telling G-Lew, oh no, that's on you. That ain't on me. And G-Lew was like, no, it's not. We figured out it was my Wi-Fi tripping. So don't even let a situation change who you are and your dynamics. And G-Lew will tell you, I was sitting over here. I wasn't yelling. I wasn't screaming. I was like, what the F is going on? If I'm lying, he'll tell you Didi is lying. She was over there cursing and acting damn fool. No, I just kept pulling up devices. I took all the pictures off my wall because I was about to do it from a cell phone. Some pictures I don't need all y'all seeing. So when I'm not just talking to be talking, I'm telling you, don't even let a situation change the person that you are. Don't let no person change who you are. Don't let a situation change who you are. Don't let the negativity just change your flow of being happy. I was listening to a Bible study talking about the light today. To keep the light in your life, I'm gonna put the scriptures up tomorrow, but you got to keep that light flowing. You got to stay positive. You got to not let the smallest thing detour what's great about you and who you are and the spirit that's in you. So that was, the craziest thing is that was a test. I think that was my test today. Me not being able to get on. I was on time. Well, I came in 5 minutes before the show started. But okay, you're about to do a show on negativity. So, the Most High is going to say, how positive are you? Because I'm about to muck up your show before it gets started. And let's see how you behave. So, how did she behave? She just kept getting one device after another. And then here we are. We having a great show. And I'm me, And I'm trying to drink the coffee because I'm staying away from Lena's show. After I missed the one after my last show because that coffee had me on one. So, I'm just telling you. So don't let any situation change the person that you are. Don't let no person change who you are. Don't let the circumstances around you change who you are. Do whatever you can to stay as positive as you are, because when you stay positive, your mind stays positive, your body stays positive. It wards off ailments and sicknesses. And trust me, it's been very hard for me to stay positive. That G-Lew can attest to. It's been very hard for me to stay positive. I broke my arm in August. And this is, we're going to hit April. So that's a lot of pain, a lot of surgery, a lot of rehab. And I'm still, and at one point I was hanging on by a limb. Like it was one little tiny thread. I was about to fall off, but I didn't let go. I let God. So we got to, keep your faith, keep going, and don't give up. If Dee Dee can attest to it, and that's why I wanted to do the show on negativity, because it's since January, it's been knocking on the door. It's been knocking on the door. It's been knocking on the door. And I kept saying, you cannot come in. You can't. And I may take a step or two backwards, but then it starts pushing you and you slam the door shut and it pushes you and then you slam the door shut. So I wanted to do this show because if I can fight through the negativity, and Eric says that when you're in a lot of pain, you're in a vulnerable state for these spirits to come through. So that negativity spirit has really been trying to push. And if I can fight through it, I said I'm gonna do this show to let everybody else know they can fight through it. So let's keep that negativity away. Let's learn how to fight through it, find those positive energies, and you can do it. Like I said, if Dee Dee can fight through the negative energy, keep negative spirits away from you, keep negative people away from you, and you can get through anything by the grace of the Most High. If you don't believe in the Most High, then I guess the elements, I don't know what other people believe in, but you can make it happen. Say positive things, think positive things, and say good things about yourself, because you have to love yourself for you to make anything happen. It says love it. First thing you're supposed to do is to love the Most High with everything that you have, your mind, body, soul. And then it says love thy neighbor like you love thyself, and you will be awesome, Blossom. Now I have to keep saying that because now I want one. So and one thing, it does feel good, and not to lie, I mean, let's be honest, it is Dee Dee Hairston 100. It feels good to explode. It feels good to let it out when somebody gets on your nerves or pushes you to a point. It does. It makes you feel good to say, what the fudge cake? But then you got to think of the ramifications afterwards. So sometimes it's not worth it to let them have it, because unless you're 15, it just isn't. I talk a whole lot of trash to my dog. Like, can you believe this such and such? How they such and such? I can't even. So my dog gets an earful. This numbnut. this, you know. And I guess that's my therapist, because yeah, the dog gets, I cannot believe this fool. Who's he gonna tell? So if you need to get it out, find you a little rescue dog, or get you a cute little stuffed animal and tell it to him, and you'll feel a lot better, because then you haven't insulted anybody. You feel better and you got it out. So that's how I get mine out. So nobody hears me. It's just me and the dog. So and it's freeing, because after I done told him all that, I used to tell my mom, but since she's passed away, I don't have anyone that I trust enough. Can you believe? Well, I can say, can you believe this idiot? Because somebody will tell, she called you an idiot. So, but find you a safe space. Find you somebody to that's right, you didn't see. She was like squabble up. That's old me. That's old me. Good to see you. You didn't see. So this was a good show. I had a good time. I hope we learned something. I hope we had a good time like I did. And I made it. Because they was trying to keep me down today. And my Wi-Fi is called Judah, believe it or not. Judah was not having it today. He was not ready to come on. So, thank you for joining us. Don't forget, we got Lena's show up next. You got a few minutes to go get you a snack, eat you some dinner if you haven't eaten yet. And get ready for R&B and soul with Late Nights with Lena. You know, that's always a pleasure to have. I have to protect myself and protect others. I had a good time because of you, Didi. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. It's so nice to be back. I know next month we don't have too many shows because I have Passover, and then we have the reunion. So we won't be having a lot of shows. Not that I'm gonna disappear on you guys again. I'm doing a lot better. Got my little pain patch on. But other than that, hopefully when I come back, I could do more than this. Working on it. So, G-Lew, you can go ahead and drop that video, man. That song. Don't forget, come back, get your little wine, get your little snacks, get your little chocolate, your strawberries. Come back for Lena's show. Don't forget, tomorrow we have It's a Gospel Thing, and then tomorrow night we have Oldies Rule Forever. Somebody's having a party tonight, right behind me. So they're already getting their Oldies Rule Forever on. And thank you for hanging out with us. Make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and leave us a comment. We got to get that algorithm up so we can get G-Lew up to 50,000 followers. Let's do that, man. Thank you. I'll see you guys, in like an hour for leading the show. Bye.